What's up, comic fans? This is Mark, and this is another Comic Crazy review for the 4th week of December of 2009. How you folks doing? Hopefully you like the new format and the new rating system that I'm trying out. It's a letter rating system. I wanted to be a little more different than the other reviewers on comiccrazyreviews.webs.com, as well as overall on YouTube. So I have 5 comics, 4 DC, 1 Marvel. So without further ado, let's begin the reviews. Blackest Night JSA, number 1 of 3. This is the 3-part series that we've been getting from DC Comics, on par with Blackest Night Flash, Blackest Night Wonder Woman. Now we have Blackest Night JSA, which, if you don't know who that is the Justice Society of America, which is basically the older heroes in the DCU, with some newer ones like Power Girl and what have you. This comic, however, is somewhat new reader friendly, but the problem with JSA, like the actual comic book itself, there are tons of characters in the JSA, newer and old, so it's hard to keep up with who's who and what's what. But the main focus is basically on Power Girl and, of course, Flash and Green Lantern Alan Scott. So the storyline is okay. It takes place right after issue 4 or 5 of Blackest Night. It reads okay. It has its up and down moments and what have you, but above all else, it's an okay start to a miniseries. Hopefully it gets a little better. I'm going to give it a B+. I would say pick it up if you're a JSA fan, pick it up if you're reading The Blackest Night, and maybe give it a new read if you guys are trying to get into The Blackest Night, or getting in The Blackest Night and you want to get some tie-ins that are going on right now. So let's go on to the next thing I'm going to be talking about, Teen Titans number 78. This ties into Blackest Night, and yeah, last month's issue was a lot better. I enjoyed it a lot better. It had a lot more fighting, had a lot more emotion to it. This one, they kind of did the same thing, but they threw out a lot more random things for the older readers of the comic, which I'm not against, because, I mean, I've read Teen Titans before. I know who the characters, what they're talking about, but if you're not updated with Teen Titans, you will be lost a little bit. I do like the part where, and I'm not trying to spoil anything, where basically Deathstroke is taking them on one by trapping his 2 kids in a little room. But I'm not going to spoil anything after that. It reads well. The ending was kind of a little lacking, but I mean, I wasn't expecting that big of a climactic ending, but what I got was what I was expecting. Something that wasn't going to be as good as last month's issue, but okay, I would say if you picked up last month's issue of Teen Titans, the Blackest Night tie-in, I would completely tell you to do the same on this one. I have to give this a C+ though, seeing that last month was a lot better. Now let's go to Marvel. Let's change gears a little bit. SpiderMan number 616. This is a part of the Gauntlet, of course, storyline that's been going on with Amazing Spider-Man. This time it's with Sandman versus Spider-Man. And I gotta say, the Electro one seems a lot better. You wouldn't think that, because Sandman is somewhat, in a lot of people's eyes, a lot better than Electro. For me, I think he's on par, but I mean, the popularity of the Spider-Man 3 and what have you, you would think it would just go in full gusto, but it really doesn't. It kind of lags, and basically it throws you a little bone somewhere, and that's it. I gotta say, if you're reading the Gauntlet, of course buy this comic, but if you're not and you're just trying to jump into Spider-Man, this is not a good point to jump in. It's very convoluted and you have no idea what's going on. But Marvel does an okay job of telling you a little backstory before the story begins. So I gotta give it a C+. I wish I could give it more, but I mean, if you change the artwork, maybe I would give it a B, but yeah, the artwork gets out too. I can't wait for Gauntlet to be over, because maybe they'll start doing the actual artwork that I was expecting for Spider-Man. Gotham City Sirens number 7. This is a stupendous holiday edition of this comic title. I did enjoy it immensely, and we get 3 stories in it that tie in at the end. We get one from Catwoman, Poison Ivy, which we see somewhat naked, no private parts, but we see curves, and that's all you get out of DC, which was pretty nice. I mean, for at least a holiday spirit, you know. I don't know why. But we also get a Harley Quinn story, which is somewhat the main focus, seeing that we see a lot more about Harley's family. Her father that was a convict, as well as her deadbeat brother that likes to play Guitar Hero, and what have you. And it all ties up in the end. It's a great ending to, if this title got canceled, this would be a great ending to this title. Seeing that basically we have everything just coming ahead, and basically Harley and Poison Ivy and Catwoman think they're heroes now. So I gotta say, is this gonna be the new front? Is this gonna be forever? I don't know. I gotta give this a B+. I did like it a lot. But I would say if you're gonna read this probably in February or March or what have you, you probably won't like this that much, seeing that there is somewhat of a Christmas tie to it. The last comic we are going to talk about is going to be Green Lantern number 49. We finally get an answer to what the fuck has John Stewart been doing in Blackest Night. As everybody knows, he's been in somewhat of a dead planet. He's just been hanging out there until black rings just hit the dead planet and becomes a Black Lantern dead planet thing. Anyway, if you have any knowledge of John Stewart's backstory on why that planet's there, what the name of the planet is, and why he's all sad that they all died, you will be somewhat filled in the first couple issues. First couple pages of this issue. Jeff Johns does a great job of somewhat retconning basically John Stewart into not just an angry black man, but just an angry soldier that has a chip on his shoulder. And no spoilers in this, but it doesn't end with a great ending, but it does do something much better. It ties into the Blackest Night, because you know after this issue, something big is going to happen for John Stewart. And I'm very happy that they're actually using John Stewart, seeing that he's been the only Green Lantern that hasn't been getting focus on these titles with, you know, Green Lantern or Green Lantern Corps or even the Blackest Night. So it's pretty cool to see him in there. Basically, they make him a badass as well, so that's pretty cool. I gotta give this an A-. This is the comic book of the week. I gotta say, please pick it up if you guys are going, you know, for the whole getting everything for the Blackest Night. Pick it up if you're a Green Lantern fan, and of course, pick it up if you're a John Stewart fan, because you will be highly, highly, highly entertained by this. So those are all the comics I'm going to be reviewing this week. Now I have a challenge for you guys. Yes, go to comiccrazyreviews.webs.com, my website where Blue Goblin and Boxing Type X says reviews on toys and comics and what have you are on there, as well as a little voting poll. What's the best of 2009? There you could vote on the best cover of 2009, the best villain, the best hero, the best storyline, a whole bunch of titles, and you guys get to pick who will get the first ever, somewhat, Comic Crazy Awards for the year of 2009. So you guys have a great, great Christmas, or any holiday that you guys are celebrating.